Okay, so you okay. Stream validation in progress. So all I can smell is sneakers over here. There we go. I'll do sneakers. Validate, for Pete's sake. Oh, there we go. We're going to start. Okay, they're going to start with showing your interesting things that you have been given by people. And we'll start off with the eyes. I just love the eyes.
I have to stick my breast up for this one.
That's right, yeah. This is, I mean,
Don't you love those breasts? No, those eyes, those raccoon eyes.
How
The
can...
mask of a raccoon. And I opened this parcel, and Judith from Langley sent me this wonderful shirt. And I hardly can take it off my back. I'm so in love with it. Thank you so much, Judith. And she likes raccoons too. And she read my book, Tabasco the Saucy Raccoon, which is somewhere around here. And she wanted to give me this gift, which she got from a store called Critter Care and an orphanage for animals, wild animal orphans that I used to have too. So it's quite a connection. And in buying it from Critter Care helps conservation. So that was one thing, but she didn't stop there. She then
Why not bring them over
sent
here?
me.
Come
I haven't even met this lady.
Okay, you just sit
But
over
she has. These are people who have read Tabasco the Saucy Raccoon and like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she also gave me. I've got the wrong shoes on here. Oh, red doesn't go. She also gave me socks.
The socks.
Also, she said
there
she
they
bought
are.
them from Critter Care.
See, you wouldn't know that if you didn't go in really close
No.
to this. You wouldn't know that.
And you
these are the
usually
socks.
wear shoes and things over them, but you'll be able to have that. So that was two pairs. Well, one pair of socks, two socks with raccoons on them,
Yeah.
and then I have Susan from Calgary gave me these, and I can wear them, but I shouldn't because I kept stumbling around with them.
It's
And I
scary.
keep them around to look at.
Yeah, they're cute, but they're scary to wear.
They make you wreck. It's called Wreck a Raccoon because raccoons wreck everything, and I would wreck myself if I wore them. But I love the eyes, and so I keep them around just to look and to bring a smile to my face because the eyes are. And I just noticed now the one is the eyeball is up, and then the other one, the eyeball is down, and they both have totally different expressions. I'll leave the audience to see what expression do they get? What do they think those raccoons are thinking?
Raccoon there, and that's
One's sad, aww.
Yeah, he looks sad to me.
And this one is
Or maybe he's just confused.
interested. And I love this. The eyes goes up, but also it seems to be, although it's the same, this and this together, kind of look a little bit at that. Well, what's happening? What's happening to me? Because the mouth seems to be approaching, just in something like that. So I am so happy. Thank you so much, Susan of Calgary.
Nice.
And Joan, that's you,
Yeah.
came along with. I didn't think that would be around. That they would put a raccoon on a helmet, and I don't know. Well, I thought it would be for a kid, but actually, it's for a big kid. Me, I think I can wear it.
It's a kid with a big head.
I've just started using my bike again after I've got a bike out there for 40 years. I've had it and I've never used it, and I used it the other day.
But tell people what you did with Bonita.
Well, I met my girlfriend Bonita, who's a very good bike rider. She said, "Why don't you use that bike that you had for 40 years and never used?" I said, "Okay." She said, and she was we went 15 miles that day, and she said, "You're a better bike rider than I am." That's not true because I have speed and I have energy, but I can't turn around the corners.
With no form.
But
that was after you had been out for about 6 days kayaking.
Yeah, after 6 days kayaking, yes.
She had to go home. Well, we shouldn't say. Some people had to go home and rest, but no, Lyn went out biking the next day.
Yeah, right, of course.
Yes.
I mean, I have to keep moving. Some people sit and think, and I move and don't think. I sit down too much. Okay. Then what I'm wearing is another kind reader of Tabasco the Saucy Raccoon.
Mm-hmm. So just let it hang, and I'll see if I can get it.
She sent me those.
There we go. Yes, so it is a raccoon. It's true.
And
We're giving evidence here.
and I love this. I found this. The lady has passed away now. This was Alice Shearer. She was a naturalist in Langley, BC, and she loved raccoons. In fact, she wanted me to write a letter, so much so that she wanted me to write a letter to ask the government, Fish and Wildlife Branch, if they would go around and put eye drops in all the eyes of the wild raccoons that were in the lower mainland. Well, that was a bit much to ask, so I didn't do it. But this is what she gave me.
Just turn it a bit toward the
she
light.
was an illustrator, and this is a picture of Tabasco, the saucy raccoon, in there. So tiny.
It's so tiny, yeah. I
So
almost
tiny.
need a macro lens or something.
Yeah, and then she had a piece of paper, and if you look very carefully, which you don't have to now, it reads, I'll assure you, didn't read, I told you before last hour, I forgot now. Love her.
I'd have-
All the raccoons love you, right? All the raccoons in the world love Lyn Hancock. Well, that's nice to know. Thank you, Alice, for that.
Well, these
so very
raccoons,
close
look
to
at
my
those
heart.
raccoons, they
And
love
then
you.
Judith, this is close to my heart as well. So thank you for all these people. Oh, these ones. This comes from Florida. This is Kathleen from Florida. And she sent me, this is the first time a reader sent me anything. And these are shoes with raccoon heads on it. But I can't fit them in, actually, so I'm not sure what to do with them. I have to give them to another raccoon lover as a gift from Kathy from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so happy because, when you're writing books, it's like it's a very lonesome job. You're there by yourself, and it's a lot of work, and it's not. But it's work that it's a labour of love. It's work you have to do, and it's good when somebody says they were inspired or they loved reading it or they couldn't wait or they couldn't put it down or something, and it's really great to hear. And it's so good if anybody does that for any writer. If you like a good book, be sure to tell the creator if you can. So I'm indebted to all the people who've told me that they like my books.
Mm-hmm. Well, and speaking of, let's bring over a book.
Let's look here. This one has just come out. I didn't write it. This has just come out in Australia. I was amazed. They because I'm an Australian, but I haven't lived there since 1960. I haven't lived there since 1960, and that's when I set out to see the world and finish up in Canada, and still I'm here. They chose for this book. Celebration of Contribution, Tales of Courage, Commitment and Creativity, that I think it's 20,000 Australians were picked to be examples of courage, creativity and whatever I said, commitment. And I was one of those 20,000. I mean, I think that's, I was one of the 176 Australians were picked out of 20,000 with those characteristics. And I don't even live there in Australia. I've only been back to visit. So I'm pretty proud of a celebration of contribution. And it's a book of biographies. But you'll find, I shouldn't have shown you that one. This should have been a better effect. We'll pretend. Most of the people, well, I'll just say it. Most of the people in this book are politicians or board managers or owners of companies, and they're all in formal attire. Mm-hmm. Well, there's one person of this 156, 176 that is not in formal attire. In fact, she isn't, well, they didn't put that one in, but they did allude to it. She isn't in any attire at all. Now, yes, you have to maybe put a warning on this. It's not actually not a picture, but it tells the story of a picture. I'll show you the picture because it is published.
While you're doing that, I'm just showing people what it looks like outside. Here we are in our sweaters, and let's see. I'm just trying to
Nanoose Bay.
Yeah, there we go.
Vancouver Island.
It's gorgeous.
There's a story in getting that house too, but we'll leave that for another time.
Yeah, we're just trying to get through all of the, you've got everything kind of laid out
Now
here.
here is the picture that they didn't put in the book. It's me on the cover of a magazine, nude, covered in nothing but mud. So I hope you've got that picture. It sold out in the first week, this magazine. It went as far as it's a Canadian magazine that went around the world because of this picture. And I remember the editor. It's me. I'm at a spa actually. I'm at a north on Great Slave Lake, a spa where you cover yourself in the mud of the subarctic, and then you, as you dry off, it does supposed to do good things for your skin.
Okay, it has, look at that. So I'm just going to I'm coming right back, but I'm just bringing my little thing closer here. So, because apparently we're lagging a little bit. So we're working with walls that don't seem to like what we're doing. So
I wrote a story about I was in a spa.
thanks for letting us know that we're lagging, though.
If I could find
Can't you fix a crappy connection, somebody says.
what? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh
right.
my God! You mean somebody's really looking at this? Oh dear.
They are, and I am really apologetic because what I'm trying to do is get the information, and a lot of it is in Lyn's living room. So what I'll try and do is upload the video afterwards, and yeah, Lyn, you have a crappy connection, they say.
Oh. Yeah.
Lyn doesn't know why we have strong internet connections, or because you have to pay more for it. So,
I didn't intend to do movies in my house.
yes, so we're doing movies in the house. So, why? It's,
And this is the first time I've
Where
heard
people
of
are
the word
watching.
live streaming.
so if Lyn likes to be able to answer questions, so if you at least you can have your questions. And anybody that doesn't know about Lyn's books, you need to stay tuned because we're going to have lots of information about her books.